On the Media Dialogues today, I'm probing something really interesting. As digital media dominate the landscape, hugely accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, and technology becomes pivotal to marketing, what's the role of good old-fashioned creativity, especially as it was understood in the context of advertising? And in a world upended by COVID-19, what avatar must the advertising agency assume? For the answers, I'm turning to two people who some 5 years ago set up their own companies, reinventing the business we know as advertising. Arun Iyer used to be with Lolintas, set up Spring Marketing Capital that works with startup brands, there you see them, and invests in some of the companies it works with. Joining him is Abhijit Awasthi. He used to be at Ogilvy and today is the co-founder of Sideways that offers technology consulting, product design, graphic design, and of course, advertising. Gentlemen, it's great to have you join us today.
Good to talk to you, Anuradha.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
So what have the last few months been like? Because a lot of people I speak to say that in spite of the lockdown, of course, we are in the unlock phase now, but that the entire pandemic, the lockdown has seen your companies like yours as super busy. Is that your experience? Abhijit, go first.
Yes, definitely. I mean, like it has been very busy indeed, actually from day one. From our side, I think what sort of worked for us is that the advertising part of a business, which is maybe just half of a company's business, therein the clients were in the mode of, okay, what should we do now? How do we keep connecting with our people? How do I get to them through non-traditional media, etc. And the other part, the product design, the tech consulting, the long-term strategy pieces, those actually didn't get affected much because everybody's been optimistic and positive that hopefully things will carry on. So those pieces of the business carried on. And yes, I mean, like also I think we were at that point in time a little fortunate enough that bulk of our advertising business also were all the tech companies, EdTech and digital banking and stuff. So somehow they never felt the need to cut back. So, but it's been a tremendous experience for sure. And by the way, before I move ahead, I must point out something. You used the word good old-fashioned creativity, and I just want to rephrase it, and which I guess is the reason why we're talking today, is that I think creativity is always future fashion, and it's never been more needed than it is in these current times.
It's been a crazy ride the last couple of months, I think, for the whole world. That said, I think specifically what also ended up happening is that with all this lockdown, what at least we experienced was there were a whole bunch of tech companies, which kind of unlocked themselves, right? Because what happened is that obviously the world was locked in and the internet was the only sort of go-to for most of the country. And I think a lot of brands which were actually a lot of the companies which are actually completely digital, they started coming to us and asking us to help build their brands out, and that has actually that's really kept us busy in the last couple of months.
The fact that digital came into its own like never before, it was already growing that way in terms of media, but digital in terms of the fact that almost all our daily transactions started happening on digital. So it was not just entertainment or news that we were consuming, our financial transactions, our livelihood transactions, wherever possible went online. How was that or that complexity different than, using digital just as media?
I think it's been more a change for the man on the street to adapt to this new age of transacting, conducting his or her life using digital tools and tech-enabled tools, whether, like you said, it's banking, payments, commerce, any of these. For the companies, I would say for outfits like us, I don't think that change has been that dramatic. I would say, if you were to ask me how has it impacted work, I would say on some of the logistical things like how do we conduct shoots, meetings, certain co-creation workshops, etc. Maybe that. But if you ask me, I think the impact and the flux has been more in our lives as regular people. I mean, like the way my household runs, the way my kids are adapting. So I think it's been more, I would say, it's made a difference on people's lives. I don't think so much in at least our agency's life, I would say.
Arun?
No, I think a little bit of both, right? I think one is obviously the whole world is getting used to a completely new way of living. From a way of working point of view, I think working remotely, working like even right now, this conversation happening in the way that it's happening is completely new, and I think a lot of these things have been something that we've all gotten used to now and getting used to as we go along. Yeah, that would be my view.
Arun, what are the things that you saw brands putting forward as their big concerns at this point of time? And I'm asking that not just from the brands that you work with at Spring, but across board. What was the business problems given that they put to you to solve?
Some of the companies that we work with, they did see some of their factories actually had stalled. But at the same time, they didn't want to go off the radar. So how do you keep the brand going even when you are not able to serve the product out as much as you would like to? Was a big challenge that we had to face, and we had to figure out cheaper alternatives than just traditional communication and traditional media, because that's a very expensive proposition. And at that point in time, even there wasn't anything happening even in the traditional media because the newspaper cycles were hit. The television, there was nothing playing out on television because there was no new content. How do you keep them and keep their awareness going even at times like this was a huge challenge that was posed to us.
What was your feedback to how that should be done?
So some of what, at least at Spring, what we believe in is that we have a specialized branded content team which actually works on this specifically, where we can keep putting out content which is not very expensive, and use the digital medium to just keep conversation on the brand alive.
Abhijit, what were some of the things that you all did?
So I think it's been a mix of few things. There were some clients who came in and said, we want to put our messaging out. But, when we had chats with them, we also realized that, while in a way it's good in theory to be top of mind, but if there aren't enough footfalls happening outside in the markets, and those weren't products which were amenable to e-commerce, then actually there we told them, you're better off not just wasting your money. I mean, it's best to advise the right thing and, not make something out there just because everybody needs to make it. On the other hand, yes, there were clients for whom, like Arun mentioned, we've developed, interesting content. I think that's definitely something which a lot of clients have taken to, which is very, very differentiated content. I mean, I think we developed, if I can call it, the world's first virtual travel show for one of our clients, where sitting at their houses, they had a guide and they could be taken around the world by one of their local celebrities, and it's been a massive hit with those audiences. On the other hand, there are a couple of companies of ours who needed new business models, actually. So we've developed some new business models for them. And then, some hit sectors obviously got battered quite badly, especially the travel and tourism sector. So therein we are partnering a couple of people in both. On one hand, helping build and instill confidence in that sector. How do you inspire trust? What could be mechanisms and interesting service and behavioral interventions that could be done at each stage to get people to start stepping out and adopting those platforms to travel. So I think luckily it's taking, it's seeing an upswing. So hopefully it'll work out well.
Arun, how different has it been in the way Spring, being the company that it is, being the young, small organization that it is, how has that been in the way you've managed to deal with this crisis-like experience, and compare that to how it would have been were you to be at a large agency, which you were, which is Lowland Das?
So let me give you a story there. So we actually in April, we gave up both our offices. We had two offices in Bombay and Bangalore, and we gave up both our offices, and we could just take that call because, when you're a small company, you can take calls like that. When you're a large organization, I don't think you can take just nimble calls like that. So that's just one of the examples. But to be honest, this way of working, Anuradha, for us was anyways way of life, because our two offices, which was Bombay and Bangalore, we were working on Zoom calls much before COVID began, and people in our office could work from home if they didn't really have to come to office. So in that sense, we had some, I don't know, we were just plain lucky. We had some of these systems already in place. And I think those are things that I'm not sure that a large org can take or can do.
There were solutions we could pull off for a couple of our clients simply because we are structured differently. Whether it's developing new products, new lines of businesses, developing platforms, simply because of the collection of team that we have over here. So there were times when a client came in and said, I don't have too much money for an ad, but we said, don't worry, we do believe there's a tech solution for it, and we built it out for them, as well as other interesting product and behavioral stuff. But more than that, I think I'll leave where the independence, I believe, has helped us. And more than help us, has helped us help others, is there have been a couple of clients and businesses who said, you know what, next 6 months, 9 months look really, really, really tough for us. Help us tide this out, though we might not be able to remunerate you as much as you want, or maybe nothing at all. But just partner us because, I love some of those categories. And I said, yes, that's perfectly fine. I get it. Everybody faces a tough time, and I know good things will happen. So yeah, I think this flexibility, independence to partner whoever you want, however you want, in as many different ways over and above communications. I think this is something I might not have been able to do if I was with a company, with a large network agency, because, well, they have their own mandate, and one of the mandates could be, sorry, but you can't work gratis for anybody for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm. What has the impact been on the people that you work with? Because you have small teams relatively, and yet they are substantial teams. What has the impact been? Have you had to, let some people go? Have you had to reduce what you pay people, compensate them?
No, fortunately, we've not had to do any of that, Anuradha. In fact, we've been really fortunate that as a company we've been doing well. So we've not had to actually ask anybody to go or had to compromise on the compensation or anything like that. In fact, it's been life as usual. We've even had an appraisal process in the middle of all of this. So life as usual has been, at least at our end.
Do you think that's got to do with the fact that you have all these big digital brands sitting in your kitty?
To some extent, yes. I cannot deny that. I can't deny that. But it's also got to do with the fact, I think to some extent, it's also got to do with the way that we are structured. Because we are, like in a year, if we work with X number of companies, there are some which we work on the consulting side of it, and then there are investee companies as well. So I think the overall structure has been robust enough to see us through these times.
Abhijit, how did you deal with your teams during this time?
So yeah, again, I think lucky enough not to have had to ask anybody to go. So we're exactly who we were. In fact, maybe more hires. But yes, initially, I would say this is the first time, a trying business situation I was encountered with in this new avatar. So out of prudence, we did some salary rationalizations, more out of, let's conserve whatever resources we have. We have no idea how it's going to pan out, etc. And therefore, for the first couple of months, we said that, yes, you know what? And we were very transparent with pretty much everybody. And we said, I'd rather conserve resources and last out for the whole, God knows how long this will last, than, try and display bravado and suddenly after realize a couple of months down the line that, business isn't taking upswing. So, but after, I think 2 months or so, when we got a sense that things are looking okay, and some of the other non-advertising projects were firing along, we were back to pretty much the normal things. So yeah, things been good. So and my team's been fabulous.
Just one more point there.
Sure.
I think one of the, an interesting thing that at least happened with us was, we were also looking at saying, how can we hire some interesting candidates, right? So one of the things that happened because of this pandemic is that there are students who were all on their way to some of the Ivy League colleges, and some of them have taken a year's break and are planning to go after a year. And we actually ended up getting some of those candidates into the firm because they suddenly had 1 year free.
I now want to focus on the second part of this conversation today, and that is the fact that creativity as we know it, has that taken a bit of a backseat in the last year or so, when the focus seemed to become overwhelmingly on precision marketing, on choosing media in a way that delivers just the right audience and just the right kind of behavior as a result of that targeted messaging? Do you think, gentlemen, somewhere that this focus on media and digital media led focus on precision marketing has got in the way, or perhaps even changed the way creativity functions? Abhijit, go first.
Yeah, so I'll answer this in 3 different ways. One is a slightly Uber statement. I wouldn't even say last 1 year, but last few years, personally, and I might make enemies, I think there's definitely a massive decline in the imagination being displayed by most marketers and most agencies, honestly. If you see the average work out there, I think for the sheer volume that we turn out as an industry, barely anything is noticeable or the man on the street talks about. And that's the truth. I mean, it's not about my point of view. I have heard this from many people saying that, you know what, how come those campaigns and those films and those radio spots and those ads which we used to talk about and love maybe 5-6 years back, we aren't seeing too much of those. Now, that's one part of it. I think everybody's trying to play it too safe. There seems to be a little formula coming in for a lot of people. And, these are slightly broad paint brushes, but you'll get the essence of what I'm saying, the sentiment of it. Let's just get some celeb in, get the celeb to put out his or her, our message on their platforms. And, it's more about how to use the celeb and somehow put in our product over there and just get him to speak about it and things like that. Basic bits of imagination and creativity and bravado and courage, I think, have taken a massive shot. That's honestly my point of view. You look at IPL today, it's the other way around. Every second ad has only celebs, and they all look the same. Then these notions which are, to your digital marketing piece, these notions which I do believe are being peddled, and I use the word peddle with a little sense of cynicism, that, only if you make 6-seconders or 10-seconders will people register ad. And, if you ask me, I think so much of it is all baloney. If something is interesting, people will watch for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And if it's not interesting, they'll switch off after 3 seconds. So I think the current environment is, and to be fair, marketers are also under a lot of pressure to deliver certain numbers. So I think the patience to see what building a brand can do for you, this obsession of seeing something immediately, coupled with, so what if I don't hit the 6, at least I won't get out. I think all these,
Abhijit, I think you make your point quite unequivocally. Let me get Arun in here. Arun, do you agree that brand building and the creativity you need to do brand building is not something that this environment is conducive to and hasn't been for a while, like Abhijit says? It's not just now and the COVID-19 crisis, but even before that, all the focus was on the numbers, the audience, what are you delivering, and the metrics that digital media keeps spewing out.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the landscape has gotten complicated, but I don't think that there is anything remarkably new that has happened during COVID in connection with what you are saying right now. I think that's been the case for some time. I think, and I think that's how it's been. There are brands that do some interesting stuff, and then there are brands which just play it safe and make sure that they just go out there and a lot of it is just on the back of spends, right? So I don't know if there is anything specific that has happened to actually impact creativity in these times. In fact, I'm of the opinion that if there is anything that can actually help brands today, it is the only way to actually stand out is to be more creative. I think that's the only way out of this. But that said, I think a lot of brands are not doing it.
Not doing it. So do you,
yeah.
you know, I've got to wind this up. Do you see this change going forward, or you see this getting worse? Because we are staring at an economy that has contracted. We are talking about income levels, you know, not rising or going back to 2020 levels 2-3 years down the line. Do you see things changing for the nature of the work that you do, the joy, you know, the work that gives you joy as creative people? Abhijit?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, you know, on a lighter note, I was thinking the other day of writing to the finance minister or the, you know, Ministry of Commerce to say, you know what, the fundamentals is one thing which are contributing to the recession for the last so many years. I think lazy marketing is also a huge problem. There is no denying it. You have to inspire people into buying something. Whereas with the kind of stuff that's going around, quite honestly, hand on heart, nobody wants to do it. So I think marketers have, I would say, even a responsibility of inspiring people and helping everybody move out of towards positivity and out of recession. And yes, I think it's an imperative more than anything else.
Arun, what's your thought on this?
I am an eternal optimist, and I would like to believe that only good things are ahead of us.
Only good things are ahead of us. That's good to hear. One final question, both of you. Actually, Arun, you take it first. The model that Spring Marketing Capital has built seems to be different from other independent agencies that have come into the picture over the last decade or so. Do you see your future at some point being the way, the same as other agencies which have, you know, you reach scale and then one large network holding company wants to acquire you and then you make a lot of money and the agency is gone? Do you see that kind of a future for yourself, even though your model is different? I'm cognizant of that.
No, Anuradha, because I think, see, we have a commitment. We have a 9-year venture capital fund which we've committed to. And to be very honest, it's part of our culture document where we never want to be a large ship. That's not something we aspire to be ever. We want to be a small team that can keep firing. We don't intend or aspire to be that at all.
Abhijit, sideways remains firmly sideways.
Oh yeah, totally, for sure. I mean, like. I think what we've built now after 5 years, I'm like this. I don't think anybody else has the appetite to do the kind of stuff we do, simply because of, you know, we built it out of a personal sense of adventure and seeing what's happening out there. So today, just to tell you, from building digital payment apps to launching our own brand of toys and games, which were launched in Germany in January, to the various other madcap projects that we're doing. I think the kind of flexibility that we have, the kind of things we want to do and are able to do, I don't think any big holding company would want that kind of manicness or craziness. And we're happier where we are.
Happy the way you are. Arun, Abhijit, thank you very much. It was lovely talking to you. Stay safe. Good luck with both your companies and to both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching. Do tune in next week for another conversation, another deep dive on the Media Dialogues.